Hi folks, I'm Nathan with Two Guys in a Ride, and welcome to our CarTech how-to video on the 2021 Lexus LS 500F Sport all-wheel drive. Today I'll be covering the driver's information screen. I'll do a general overview, show you how to access information, and do a deep dive. Let's get started.
Today we're working with our friends at Sears Imported Autos, selling beautiful Mercedes-Benz in Minnetonka, Minnesota.
Okay, so on the dashboard, you do have a movable center RPM gauge, and that button is right here on the left side of the steering wheel. So if I click it, you're going to see it move over, and then you get an information screen over on the left. Now, to control that, you're going to have right and left arrows, which will bring you through your main menu items. And then you have up and down arrows to take you through the various pages that are available in those menus. So, other than that, of course, you've got, in this particular view, you've got your engine temperature and your fuel gauge at the bottom left. You've got your RPM gauge, an odometer, and electronic speedometer. And then you, of course, have your the mode that you're driving in. Right now, we're in Eco. And I'll show you how to switch modes in a little bit. Okay, so let's get started here. On the far left-hand side, we are on the very first information icon at the top, and then you'll notice a little blue line on the far right next to the RPM gauge where it says miles per gallon. So that indicates we have multiple screens, and so I'm going to use the down arrow. This one will say your current miles per gallon here as you drive. And then of course it tells you that it was after whatever the last time was reset. So we're going to go down. Then it shows you your range after the last reset. And then you have an eco gauge that will come on as you're driving and tell you how economically you're driving. And then I'll go down again. And then we get a nice boost gauge right here. We'll go down again. All right, now this is the G-force meter. So you're going to notice that in addition to the G-force, the orange ball in the middle, it actually tells you, how you're doing on the left, how you're doing towards the right, how you're doing with the accelerator and brake. So it adds quite a bit of information to just a normal G-force graph picture. And of course, any of these, you'll get them on the screen. It just says hold OK to reset. All right, gear position, that will show up when you are out of drive. So here I am in my gear position, okay, and I'll just put it back into park there. All right, going down one more here, you get your tire pressure. Going down one more, you get a calm screen. All right, so now I'm going to go to the right, move over to the next icon, and that is just your compass or turn-by-turn directions, but there's no other thing available in that menu. I'm going to go one more to the right. This is your media. Okay, so if you use the down arrow here, you can get to sources. So you get Bluetooth audio, you get AM radio, you get FM, you get Sirius XM again. All right, you can also push OK for source, and then you just get a list, which is a little nicer and a little quicker response time. So then in this screen, you need to hit the back arrow, and then you can hit the right arrow here to go to the next menu item. And this is your driver assist features, okay? And there's nothing else additional here, but it'll be your lane keeping assist and cruise control, that kind of stuff. All right, I'm gonna go over one more to the right. Any sort of message will pop up here, like low on fuel, low windshield wiper fluid, that kind of stuff. I'm gonna go over one more to the right. And this is where you have your settings. So if on the first one here, I have my blind spot. I can just use the OK button to turn that on or off. I can go down to parking assist, okay? And then here I can have it on or off, and then on or off, and then the volume level. All right, I'm gonna use the back arrow. I'm gonna go down here, rear parking sensors, on or off, and then this does have a beautiful 24-inch HUD display, and this is where you can adjust some of those things. So if I press OK here, I can adjust the brightness of it by using the right-left arrows. And if I go down or up, then I can adjust that position. And it is a beautiful, very large HUD display. It shows you a whole bunch of information, your compass, your all your like your lane keeping assist, cruise control. You've got a speedometer, you've got a gear selector, you've got an RPM gauge. It'll also read signs. When you come like to a stop, up to a stop sign, it'll actually show the stop sign in there. But it's a really nice wide display, 24 inches. All right, I'm going to hit the back arrow and go down. This is where you can change your units. And if I click the OK button, it just switches to kilometers. And if I go back, it switches to miles. But if you look on the RPM gauge, you notice that it changed from miles per hour to kilometers per hour at the top, but then at the bottom, it still gives you the miles per hour digitally, which I think is kind of cool. All right, we'll switch that back. Okay, we got a bunch more things here, so come down. Lane center, quick click of the OK button for these. It's just on or off. You got steering assist. You've got the driver alert here if you want it to give you just audible or a vibration on the wheel. Sensitivity level, is it standard, high? And that's your two choices. And here you have your pre-collision system, and that's just on or off. Go down one more here. You got the sensitivity for the pre-collision system, and that's just a sort of a graphic that's more sensitive, medium, and low sensitivity. If I go down one more, you get some additional vehicle settings. So here, if I go into the lane keeping assist, you can have the sway warning on or off, and then you can set the sway sensitivity to low, high, or standard. Use the back button. I'm gonna go down here, your blind spot monitoring system right here. You can adjust the brightness of it because it's in the mirrors, and then you can adjust the sensitivity, and again, it's just a graphic. So most sensitive to least sensitive. Use the back arrow. I'm gonna go down here. Here you can turn your ISA on or off. You can set a notification for if you're speeding above a certain amount, visual only, visible and audible, or no notification, and you just click the button on whichever one you want. All right, notification level, you could have it set at low, medium, or high. Use the back arrow. Other signs, okay, like road signs, so only visual or visual and audible. All right, we'll hit the back arrow again, and we're going to hit the back arrow one more time. Going down to the HUD, you get some additional controls here, so you can adjust the tachometer setting. You can have it show an eco indicator instead, or just blank. All right. Then HUD driving support. Here's where you can turn off the various things that show up in HUD. And it's just a simple click on or off. So you got navigation, driving assist, compass, and audio. And whatever you don't want, you just click and turn it off. All right, we hit the back button. The last control on the HUD is the rotation. Now, this is nice because depending on how you sit in the seat, it may look a little tilted to you, and this way you can adjust it left or right a little bit to make it look straight for you. Hit the back button. I'm gonna hit the back button again. All right, you can have the kick sensor on or off, and then we'll go down again. Tire pressure. So here we can set the pressure or change wheel set, and you would just press the OK button to do that. Go back, scheduled maintenance. Hit the OK button here. Reset data, yes or no. All right, I'm going to hit the back button here. Same thing for oil maintenance. Reset right there. All right, we'll hit the back button again, and meter settings. So if I go down here, then I can adjust the language. Hit the back button, the units, right? And drive info 1 and drive info 2. So drive info 1 here, you can change the current is the bar type. So if I click on here, I can say I want it to reset after start or after refuel. Hit the back button here, and all I did was hit the OK button to do that. Okay, if I go down here, I can say I want to show average fuel economy after the last reset. All right, hit the back button, go down to drive info 2, and this is going to be a little different information, but you get two options. You get distance and range or average speed. All right, hit the back button here. Clock, right here you can adjust. If I press the OK button, it just switches from 24-hour to 12-hour. That's the only adjustment you can make. I'll go down one more here. Pop-up displays. So pop-up displays are anything that will pop up on your screen to notify you things. So for instance, you can turn them on or off just with the click of the button, but you have intersection guidance, telephone, audio feedback, volume feedback, and adjust brightness. All right? Hit the back button. You can adjust color right here. You have two choices. All right, rev indicator. So rev indicator is on, and you can switch that off as well. And then rev setting, you can set the rev setting right here just by clicking the up and down buttons. All right, I'm gonna hit the back arrow. Hit the back arrow again. You can have the rev peak on or off. You can have the eco symbol on or off. And then you can also reset to the default settings here. Go back and go back again. Okay, so that's under settings here. So now I'm going to hit the right arrow, and that brings me back to the information screen, which remember I had on the calm screen, but you have all these pages to go through. All right, other than that, if we push the button here and move the RPM gauge to the middle, you notice that things shrink up a little bit. So now on the left, you've got your engine temperature, your outside temperature, your odometer on the left, and you've got current fuel economy after the last reset. In the center, you've got your mode right there. And then, of course, on the far right, you've got your lane keeping assist, you got your gear indicator, and your fuel gauge and the time. All right, but in this particular window, we don't get anything by going left and right, but you can go up and down, and you can change. So now you can see your lane keeping assist right here, calm screen. You can switch from miles per hour to kilometers per hour very quickly. You can see your gear position, tire pressure. So it's kind of all those first pages we saw under information. Okay, so you can have that in that view. Now, I do want to show you how to change the modes. So first of all, on the dashboard, there are two knobs that stick out, left side and right side. On the left side, if you push the knob in, you take traction control off. Push it again, comes back on. All right, if I twist it down, I'm gonna go into snow mode, and you can see that showing up on the dashboard. Click it again, and it goes off. On the right side of the dashboard, you have got your modes. So I've got Eco here. I've got Sport S. You notice the RPM gauge changes a little bit. And then in Sport S Plus, it really changes. Okay. Now, if I want to customize it, I'm going to push in. And I can get to custom or normal. So it's a combination of twist and push depending on what you're doing. So here you'd have a custom setting, which you would make in your infotainment screen. Last couple things I'll mention, these buttons over on the far left. This will change your dashboard brightness and dimness right here. The very center one is just a dummy button. It just shows you that it's the brightness and dimness. And then you have your trip meter right here. You can switch between trip A and trip B. Right. That's it for the driver's information screen on the 2021 Lexus LS 500F Sport all-wheel drive. I hope this has been helpful. Thanks for watching.